The fire burning red in a Georgia representing of a Kams Tv, you know. Big up Kidaki, Buxton Massive. Hey Babylon boy, you go on like you know, like Kams son. Red. Kams Tv, your son. You burn this swine when no want you shine. The tree of life, them no want you climb, cause them heart no kind. Kams, I say them heart no kind. Buxton Massive. Kidaki. Red that.
Never joke, never joke, never joke. Oh, money, never money, never money, money, never money, money. Now know what you can even money, money, never money, never money, money, never money, money. You can keep, you can even money. When you've been knocked for a bum, in a bill tell me money. Now because your money done, you come with conniving money. When you had your pocket full, in a bill tell me money. Now because your money done, you hustle for tell me money. Yes, money, never money, never money, money, never money, money. Now know what you conniving money. Neighbor, neighbor, joker. Neighbor, neighbor, joker. Neighbor, neighbor, joker. That's all the money that me walk for. A 2 pound note and a kill the piece. A 2 pound note and a kill the piece. A 2 pound note and a kill the piece. This all the money that me walk for. I said money, neighbor. Money, neighbor, money. Money, neighbor, money. Money, now I know what you can have in money. Oh, Joseph.
Well, I invoke the WPA's position that we are engaging in civil disobedience and non-cooperation with the government. And on that grounds, I refuse to participate in the interview. The question in struggle, is not personal. Whatever sacrifice as a political activist or a political leader you have to make for your people, you have to make it.
Guyana and Guyanese, at home and abroad. Tune in to Guyanese Morning Time, hosted by Kadaki Amsterdam, where the sun always shines. Guyanese Morning Time, the people call it Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese Morning Time. The people call it Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again. We rise up early morning watching Kams TV, where wisdom and knowledge, yes, it is the key. Exposing corruptions over land and sea, where the wicked politicians, they try to trick me. Guyana is a land for everybody. With 6 races should live in harmony. Is one set of people getting aisle money. Is one set of people doing the thievery. Beep, beep, Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again. This is a program that you all can see, sharing your views and your integrity. Like it, comment and share it all around. Pass it to your neighbor, safe and sound. A sad situation going on in this town. The voice of the people is getting trampled down. Out of the mouths of babes and sucklings, which has ordained me to sing. I sing Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, fooling the people. You're promoting evil. Stop lying to the people. You are a part of the cycle. Stop fooling people. You're promoting evil. Stop lying to the people. You are a part of the cycle. I say, Guyanese morning time. The people calling Guyanese morning time. Rhythm, Guyanese morning time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese morning time. The people calling Guyanese morning time. Rhythm, Guyanese morning time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again. They got Breakford, Bork and Mark Benchcop. David Hines and Kadaki Amsterdam. Sherrod Duncan, Nigel London. Normal Brown and Gavin Machos. Big up Paslow Port People Governor. Simona Brooms, Robin Simpson. Hampton Green and Winston Jordan. And yes, we can go right on and on. Guyanese morning time. The people calling Guyanese morning time. Rhythm, Guyanese morning time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese morning time. The people calling Guyanese morning time. Rhythm, Guyanese morning time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again.
The relatives and friends of young Wyndham Bacchus, they deserve justice. The family, the relatives and friends of our in Boston, they deserve justice. The family, the relatives and friends of Peter Headley, they deserve justice.
And so when we say that Guyana is an apartheid state, we have the evidence to show.
Rastaman vibration.
On the Farming Association with Bobfest ATL is excited about the annual Harvest Party weekend in Atlanta, GA.
Saturday, November 18th at 5 p.m. till midnight. It's an evening party called Lively Up Yourself.
Enjoy a 5-course farm-to-table feast with Mystic Roots, featuring live on the wheels, selectors Muta Baruka live from Jamaica's Irie Affair, DJ Sanzaf, and DJ Russ Iman.
Live performances with full band by Ras Kofi and Permaculture, Russ Fraser Jr.,
Aja Ray,
and other special guests.
all taking place at Arts Exchange, 2148 Newman Street, East Point, GA.
Then on Sunday, the 19th of November, it's the Reset.
Satsang Style and Brunch, featuring performances by the international legend Muta Baruka. Also featuring Ras Takura, brunching and reasoning to the sounds of Kim String at YG Urban Cafe, 640 Evans Street. Purchase tickets online on thefarm.eventbrite.com.
It's the annual Harvest Party weekend in Atlanta, GA.
You put in a 12-cent meatball, you washed on a lice. I going to give you a word of advice. Take your meat out my rice.
You can get meat anywhere, but for the best cuts of chicken, beef, pork, mutton, and lots more, check out T&W Harris Butcher Shop, located in the East Remvelt Market Meat section. Call us on 609-2049. Ask for Rastaman. T&W Harris Butcher Shop brings you the best in fresh cut meats and lots more. viewers and listeners, welcome to another program of Guyanese Morning Time. I am your host, Kidaki Amsterdam, the Buxtonian. It is 7 hours 23 on the 30th day of October in the year 2023. Welcome to the program. How have you been? How was your weekend? You had a good weekend? Some of you should have had wonderful weekends, man. Y'all were special this weekend. What did you do with your weekend? Any side hustle happen? Any money make? Have you implemented any of those business ideas we spoke about on Thursday? See, a lot of people are saying, a lot of people message me and say, well, you know, Mr. Amsterdam, you open my eyes here and you open my eyes there, and you know, you made me think about this and think about that. And why y'all only think about it and why y'all act on it? How many of you have taken something from this week's programs, from last week's programs, I should say, and use it to improve your life in some way or other? Because that is what I intend these programs to do. Help to bring improvement to your lives. Highlight your situations, but at the same time offer solutions. There's some people who believe that all we do is chat here, we don't offer solutions. But we do offer solutions. If you're wise, you're going to see them. I'm not saying you're unwise if you can't see them. Sometimes we need to break it down a little bit more for you. But all in all, I'm hoping that you guys are able to get some things done this weekend that would benefit you and not benefit your employer. Something that brought benefit to you, your household, your community, right? Sometimes in doing those things to benefit yourself, other people benefit. Maybe your employer might have gotten a benefit, but I'm hoping that you got the biggest benefit. Good? I sincerely hope so. How have you been health-wise? How many of you have been checking on your health recently? You know, there's always the encouragement that you should do annual checkups, because if you spot it early enough, the possibility is it can be reversed or managed. As I want to encourage you this morning to take advantage of the free medical clinics hosted by the Guyana Medical Mission. Today is the 30th. They will be at St. Francis Community Center in Rose Hall and Landlivman Health Care Center. Good? So check them out today, the 30th, at St. Francis Community Center, Rose Hall, Landlivman Health Care Center. Check them out here. Tomorrow, he was up there yesterday, and he was up there talking with them and promising that, you know, we are going to fix some of your roads. We came to hear your concern, like fools, with your resources. Is it, you can't be happy for the sisters, CISPRO, because they get a high oil block. The secretary of the PPP, which has been in office for, about 30-something years. People have applied for land since then. One has to see the next from the PPP. Create problem in a whole lot of other muscles. Smile on your face, that's why I wipe it off. Smile on your face, that's why I wipe it off. That is what we have to recognize and value, and that is what we have to do. And so don't show me the Cisco, the George, and others. Don't show me that. Don't show me the loan contract in boxing, you might get a little contract to this man. 25 contractors getting 25 bridges to do at approximately $2 million each. Don't show me that. Show me a system where the government doesn't have to classify people in our communities as small, medium, and large-scale contractors, because as a matter of fact, all of them in Buxton, as far as I know, were classified as small contractors. Show me a system where the contractors themselves can go through a tendering process that is fair and credible and emerge victors or losers, if you want to call it that. Morning, 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 neighbor, morning, morning, neighbor, morning. I'm not like me conniving, morning. You know, some people when they see a smile on your face, that's why I wipe it off. Can I guess why you always smiling, boy? Like you never smiling. I was born that way. My happiness is not dependent on man. I was born that way. I will always smile, even in the face of severe challenges. I will always smile. Morning, are you morning? They say when you smile, you release the muscles in the face. I can't remember how many they are. But when you frown, you create problem in a whole lot of other muscles. But morning, are you morning? Welcome to the program. How are you? How was your yesterday? How have you been? How is your today? How did you pass last night? Last night a good night for you? Yesterday, yesterday was a satisfying day. I think I had a satisfying day yesterday. I always try to have satisfying days. I don't let the challenges, you know, burden me too much. I like to laugh and I like to smile, and I, you know, tell anybody, for me, laughter is the best medicine. Laughter is the best medicine. If you can't laugh and laugh at yourself, you're going dead. Stress can kill you. Morning, are you? What happened yesterday? I made some money, extra money. I mean, I said there's nothing like extra money, but I mean, did you earn some income outside of your regular source? I hope you did. If you didn't, I wish you better luck today. Or today, I wish you success. Right? Yesterday, I had to spend time, you know, I spent time yesterday attending to most of those things that I will earn my money from, you know. I tend to clean and furniture to clean and stuff like that. Yeah, so if you're looking for table, tent, chair, tablecloth and chair covers and sashes and stuff like that to rent, hit me up. 6225933 is the number to call. EC Party Rentals will take care of you. Even if you want a hall and some music, big or small songs, we can hook you up with that too. You want a DJ? We got that too. Right? We got that too. So hit me up. Let's link you up. Thursday again, we're going to be talking about some small businesses, and so I encourage you to get your flyers together and so on, and let's put something together for you so that we can inform the world of what's happening in your neck of the woods. We promoting your business, because when we promote your business, we know you're going to get rich. And when you get rich, we know that you're going to contribute to Kams TV, and you're going to contribute to the campaign fund, and you're going to contribute to the youth development projects, and you're going to contribute so that, you know, you don't have to depend, or we don't have to depend on the opponent to fund our campaign. Right? Veronica Burnham, good morning.
Planning your next visit to oil-rich Guyana, South America? Well, let's accommodate you at Veron's cheerful country manor. With free secured on-premises parking, our beautiful vacation air-conditioned home offers 3 bedrooms, 3 beds, 2 bathrooms, spacious kitchen, and all modern amenities. Located at Tushen on the eastern bank of the mightiest river and the western coast of Demerara, Veron's cheerful country manor is just a stone throw from the ocean. Make that reservation now on Airbnb and VRBO. For contact, call us on 516-770-3053 or 592-685-3521.
Yes, if you're planning advocation, come out of your runs. So you don't have to wait until Strictly Business Thursday or Strictly Business whenever I choose to host it to put your ads out there. You can actually contact us and we will advertise to you at a small fee. But on Thursdays, we will try to do as much community service as we can. We'll try to see how many ads we can fit in for you. I think I will have to start limiting the number, not more than 10 ads per day. The first 10 ads on Thursdays will get free play. How about that? The rest of you will have to pay. Anyways, morning again. That's not my reason for being here today. Well, it's part of my reason anyhow. We have a lot to talk about. What do we want to talk about? We want to talk about God complex. We all know about God complex. Have you ever even heard the term God complex? What's God complex? As a good Christian would say, I woke up with that on my heart this morning, God complex. What really is God complex? Vainglory, egocentrism, overconfidence, megalomania. All of these words you can use. Narcissism. All of these words we can use in the place of God complex. Right? I guess the more common ones would be narcissism. Or egoism or ego. Right? But these are all words we can use to talk about God complex. And so when we talk about God complex, when I wake up with that in my heart, I say, there's a particular man I got to bed with on my mind. Y'all don't take me strange. I went to bed with a man on my mind. Don't take me strange. Right? Yeah, so here we are. We got some people tell themselves they're gods in this society. And they operate in such ways to make others feel they're gods in this society. It would do us good to help others to recognize the three-card trick that is being played on them. And so this morning I want us to address that three-card trick that is being played on them. And this morning I can play several quotes and videos and so on. I don't know if I'm really in the mood for that. But there are lots of thoughts out there as to what people do to get you to a place where they want you. Right? What people do to get you to a place where they want you. We hear ever so often about domestic violence having many forms. Right? A lot of us pay attention to the physical abuse. But what is more dangerous in domestic violence? Violence is all. Is psychological. We prepare you to take the beating. We prepare you to take the beating. How the abusers operate? You're good for nothing. You can't cook. You can't keep house. The place always dirty and stink. You carry yourself wrong like the old woman. Me don't know how old woman been pick up. You know them. I'm sure you know them. They will beat your psyche into the ground because they attack you, your self-esteem, they bring it to the lowest gravy, as we say. Your family are not nothing. Every time you go over that man, you're going to meet. They beat you psychologically to the ground. They separate you from your family, from your relatives. Your safety net, they destroy it for you. So that when they're ready to unleash, you have no place to run. You don't have a safe spot anymore. They put you in a position that you make bad with your family. Everybody that you could have got to for support in your bloodline, they make you make bad with. So you ain't got nobody for run to them. When licks are share, you can't run there no more because you burn your bridges. All your friends that you know since Noah was a boy, when you all used to run around naked skin and and play size. You force them out your circle. And so you are left to their mercy. You are left to their mercy. So when the abuse that share, you ain't got nowhere to run. You destroy your safe space, or they encourage you to destroy your safe space and your safety net. You only got them. And so you start looking at them as God. This is my savior. If me leave this man, I'm going to eat. Where am I going to live? I'm going to go beg. Or go look work. Or what am I going to do? I say to y'all, sometimes I discuss these things in a light-hearted way, but I never take them lightly. Narcissism, egoism, God complex. What they do is create situations. That's the only thing you could remember, Zubaya. Yes, well, yes. It puts you in a situation where you think that your only savior is them. Look around you and you will see that is what the PPP does. That is what Jagdeo does. Check all the years that the PPP has been in power from 1991, 92 I think, to current. Look at their modus operandi. Look at how they operate. Especially Jagdeo. In many instances, they use their minions to mud up the water for people. And then they step in and say, I will save the day. I will save the day. Check the history of the PPP and Jagdeo and you will recognize how many times have they caused the city council or somebody else to force vendors some off the streets or around the markets, and then Lord Jagdeo turns up and say, we're going to find accommodation for y'all. We're going to fix this. How many times have industrial situations been created by his minions, and then Jagdeo turns up and say, we're going to fix this. That's their operation. I want to draw a nexus. You practice. If you have never done it before, or if you have never observed it, take it as a project. Find a stray dog on a street corner and take food for it every day. You do that. And what you will see emerging is a behavior of loyalty, gratitude, protection. That stray dog will recognize you as its savior, as its provider. It's going to smell you from a distance. It's going to walk behind you. It's going to protect you to the best of its ability. Because by you constantly feeding it, it will develop that bond. That's what the PPP is doing. That's what Jack Dio does. You ask why it is so many black people can be found to hug up Jack Dio when you go into communities and so on, or to join the buses to go into communities with Jack Dio. Because the PPP and Jack Dio has brought a lot of black people to the lowest gravy, where they think they have no hope whatsoever. And then they step in as the saviors. And once they step in as the saviors and they give them that little taste of what might be possible for them, and they do that over a period of time, they feel that, hey, this is the savior. We got to be loyal to this. We got to protect this. That is what the PPP is doing to black people. But black people apparently ain't recognizing it. Black people allowing themselves to be beaten into the ground. A lot of us, I will say a lot of us are failing as leaders. Because we're not having these discussions with our people. We ain't sitting under the bottom house and we don't even go to the road car and talk with our people like this and so on. This is my street car now. And what I'm saying is no secret, because it's also being done to the Indo-Guyanese by the PPP. And so I want the world to recognize that we know what's up. At least I know what's up. And so whoever can benefit from the knowledge, benefit from the knowledge. I don't care who hears what I say. I care about who uses it for their upliftment. So these black people are behaving like, oh, this is the savior, Lord and Savior. I didn't hear the tape, but somebody said to me that previous to, I think they said Lincoln Lewis said it on Politics 101. Previous to being part of CISPRO, one of the sisters in the oil block allocation used to complain about the PPP government and the wickedness. But once she became a part of CISPRO, and an oil block was awarded to them, her tune has changed. Black people got to stop complaining. That is the stray dog complex that I just explained to you. Once you start feeding a stray dog, and it becomes accustomed to looking to you for a meal, it will start to see you as a savior and protect you at all costs. And if you cultivate enough stray dogs like that, eventually you will form a wedge between the stray dogs. Even the stray dogs you will form a wedge between. But greater you will form a wedge between the population of dogs. Because once the stray dogs are around, they will ensure that no other dog try anything on you. Even if it's to the better of the nation of dogs. Look around this society. Tell me if you've seen it. I'm going to play a video for you. There are several videos I want to play this morning. Let me see if this is the first one. Yeah. Look at this one.
You're taking the children, are you going to school? I just said to you, people who want to work, you give me a list of the names of the people, and we'll find jobs there. We'll find jobs. But people, a lot of people now pay and want help, and when you find a job for them, they don't want to work. In the US, they talk about oil economy. Let me talk a bit more for it. Because this is something that people talk a lot about, oil economy. I hear one man now say, we're so rich now that we must stop working because we have so much oil money. In the United States of America is the richest country in the world, and people work 3 jobs a day to make ends meet in the US. 3 jobs they go in. 1, 2, 3 jobs. And they're the richest country here because of us. How much oil money did we get so far? Let's talk about it. This year's budget, we're going to bring in, if you follow the budget, $1 billion in oil money coming into the budget. Let's look at who is getting some of this money. The school children, 0 they were getting, now they're getting 30,000 a month, a year, as a school grant. How much will that cost us per year? $8.5 billion. The pensioners move from 20,000 to 33,000, 74,000 pensioners every month now. That works out to $14.5 billion. So I'm giving the answer so that I get a chance to explain a lot about this. The public servants have seen $37 billion increase since we got into office. We have 15,000 part-time workers. So that's 70 billion alone in 4 categories. That's of the 200 billion or 1 billion words that we got in. We're building 12 hospitals. So when people talk about oil money, sometimes they encourage me because they don't reach with the same propaganda all the time. Oil money. How long will it take to move from getting in a poor country to a wealthy country? And we laid it out. We said the resources are going to come to the back end. The back end when our production runs up. Not now. So people believe, oh, you're flush with money, they can stop working. So you tell me who wants to work, and I will find work for them. But don't tell me, oh, you gotta send your children to school because they can't work. Right? You find and we find. What kind of work you're talking about? What kind of work? What kind of work you're talking about? What's your skill? Tell me a skill and I will tell you. I'm the carpenter and a steel bender. Alright, okay. So you give me your name and by next week I'll find you a job as a carpenter and steel bender. Okay, by next week. What are you giving them to do? You give me your name. I'll find you a job as a carpenter. So you, right, come on.
That's the first video I wanted to share with you. You recognize anything there? Let me go back to the guard complex story. Jack Dio was in Dazzle housing scheme. The same day he was at Robin's place in Vigilance. The same day he was at Tipperary Hall. At Dazzle, he did what I understand he also must have done at Buxton. See all those people who applied for land under the PPP and didn't get it? Bring your information. Bring your information. Those people were there, provided whatever information they provided. I understand by yesterday, persons were called to verify their information from the Ministry of Housing. and told Jack Dio himself will contact you. Jack Dio himself will contact you. Now, who is Jack Dio? Jack Dio is the General Secretary of the PPP, which has been in office for about 30-something years. People have applied for land since then and have not been granted it. People who applied for land and had an arrangement with the coalition government for part payment. That arrangement was discontinued, disrespected, disregarded. And Jack Dio is now coming into black communities and say, give me your name, I can get the land. I have no doubt those people will get the land. Number one, I asked yesterday, how many people will get the land? Because how many persons were there to provide that information, number one. But most importantly for me is this. If there were 10 persons at each of those locations, 10, let's just use 10 as a number. Jack Dio will get the 10 of them a piece of land each. And they will, for the greater part, adopt the straight dog mentality. It's human nature. There are exceptions to the rules. But for the greater part, they will adopt the straight dog mentality. Oh God, Jack Dio is we save it, Jack Dio get a land for me. That we applied for 30 years and didn't get. Under Jack Dio government. They will not recognize it as an unfair system where a so-called vice president has to select you before you could get a piece of land. Whereas the system should be just what it should be. You apply through the necessary ministry or agency and the land is allocated to you in a timely manner. No. We're going to punish them. 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 Dazel Housing Scheme got some of the worst streets in the whole country. He promised we will fix some of the streets in Dazel. And so you're going to hear people saying the coalition been there for 5 years. And they didn't fix no street in Dazel. Look, Jack Dio, come and do it for me. As anybody is reflecting that Jack Dio for the first part, or Jack Dio party for the first part, put you all in that situation of disadvantage, beaten down, oppressed, and then come back and offer you an olive leaf, we're going to lift you out of your poverty. It's a tricky trick. But they're going to hang on to it. I know they're going to hang on to it. A lot of them are going to hang on to it. Multiply that effect of Dazel across the country, and you will see how Jack Dio and the PPP intends to use your own black fat to fry y'all, or your own poor fat to fry y'all. We're going to beat them into subjection, and then we're going to pull them out a little and get their loyalty, and then we're going to continue beating them for another 5 years. That is Jack Dio narcissist. A man who got God complex and is prepared to do all that he can possibly do to oppress poor people, especially black people, and then go and offer them a helping hand so that they become loyal to him, eating out of his hands, like what he called Kams Tv, a lapdog. That is what Jack Dio is making our black brothers and sisters into, lapdogs, without them even realizing it. I will talk. People like me will talk. Whether you like it or not, I will talk. Come to Buxton. I say Buxton, it includes Robbins Place at Vigilance and Tipperary Yard, because we all see this old square as Buxton. And Sandy man say, I ain't want no problem with Buxton people. I just want to help y'all. I ain't want no problem with Buxton people. I ain't come for problem with Buxton people. I just want help y'all. got some objectives that go through my mind just now. Who the so and so is Jagdi and so on and so forth. That he want help you on. How does he help? Blackout. Blackout.
This is Rolly, you know. I am here just to speak to my African brothers and sisters. Just to share a little word with you guys. We are all African. We are the one who create civilization. We are the number one. We are Africans. We're Africans. We're Africans. We are Africans, no matter where you're from, we're Africans. We are Africans, we're Africans, we're Africans. No matter where you're from, we're Africans. We are Africans, no matter where you're from, we're Africans. Africa is calling, time for us to unite. A nation don't teach you right, will never treat you right, will never love you right. This song is coming from my heart, morning, day, noon and night. I can feel this loving vibes, my people, let's all start to unite. We are a people of a great race, money and violence pushing we face. Civilization must take back its place for the black race, for the black race, in front your face. It got no taste, yeah. We are Africans, we're Africans, we're Africans. No matter where you're from, we are Africans. No matter where you're from, we're Africans. We are Africans, we're Africans, we're Africans. We are Africans, no matter where you're from, we're Africans. Proud of yourselves, my people, know who you are. Coming from a distance and we coming from far. Our ancestors came and they die on the tar, while some of us gone home with so many scars. This is a crime against humanity, while millions and billions die in slavery. A people without a knowledge of the past history, bound to go down, this is mental slavery. I am singing from there, I am singing from far. We are from
because it's blackout. I don't know what you can shift not telling me about. Anyhow, what we talking? So Jagio came to Buxton, and I had the temerity to tell black people, I ain't come to Buxton for problems. I want no problem. I come for help Buxton people. I come for help y'all. I come for help y'all. So y'all are a special bunch of idiots. Y'all are a special bunch of dead bad people. I can't help you out through the regular channels. The agencies of state can't be made to function so y'all could get help without having to bow down to me like God. I ain't gonna come and help y'all. So y'all will worship me as provider and savior. But some of us are so small-minded, so narrow-minded, so myopic that we can't recognize the strategy. And that is why I have to talk about the strategy. Let's fast forward to the other part of this video. When the young people talked about jobs, Jack Dio say, y'all talking about jobs? What jobs y'all want? I can get y'all jobs. A steel bender carpenter says, I was steel bender carpenter. Put on your name and I can get a job by Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever he said. I can call one of my contractors. That's what I'm thinking in his head. I can call one of my contractors and I can let him employ you to show that I can get you a job, to show that I have your interest at heart. But my government will not ensure that the agencies of state, the employment agency, the Ministry of Labor, for example, functions that if I am out of a job, I can go to the agency and say, I am looking for a job in this field or that field. Can you point me to a direction? No. The agency must not function because Jack Dio must be God. And black people must genuflect to Jack Dio to get a job. And so y'all see the behavior? I said once you feed us straight up, it gonna start showing your loyalty. And so Jack Dio said, put on your name, and I gonna get your job by next week. And what did we hear? Yay! The saviors come. We praise our oppressors. We allowing them to oppress us and then offer us an olive branch. And so we're pulling you up. Huh? But we falling for the three-card trick. Well, I pointed out what the three-card trick is right now. I'm not saying don't take the land. I'm not saying don't take land. We all are entitled to a piece of the land in this country. You get it, take it. Don't let people pull wool over your eyes and let them and make you believe that they're your savior. You're rightfully deserving of part of the patrimony of this country. So Jack, you're doing you a favor. The PPP is not doing you a favor. He didn't come to help you. Jack Dio was not in the African Guyanese communities to help black people. He was there to save himself from the PPP. Because the more black people he can beat to the ground and then lift them up and get into the psyche as a savior, the more black votes he will attract. The more black communities he can go to right now and offer jobs and get people employed, the more black votes he's likely to attract. Not because he's genuinely doing it, but he's messing with your psychological, your psyche. He's going to use that to ensure he drops a wedge between you and the clan, you and the wider African community, you and the wider oppressed community. Because he do for me. Remember what I said the black man said in America? They don't treat me, so they just do things to me. That's the words they're using. And so instead of standing together to confront the wickedness. We got divided pockets of people. That's the psychological warfare going on. I hope you're recognizing it. Miranda say he's removing the red tape. You want to remove the red tape? Let the agencies of state function. You don't have to go into the communities to remove the red tape. You don't have to micromanage the services of the state to remove the red tape. You simply have to let the agencies of state function. Let PSS do PSS job instead of politics. Let them be the chief executive officers of their agencies and their ministries and so on, and function according to the laws of Guyana. Hold them accountable for that, and you will see the removal of red tape. But if Jagdeo has to go into the communities to deliver services, Jagdeo is himself creating that red tape. Bureaucracy and red tape. You hear talk about bureaucracy and red tape? Take a minute out and Google bureaucracy and red tape. Sometimes I can't, when I read certain comments from Miranda, the really just got to go to certain adjectives. No one owns your vote. What are you saying? You're running scared of progress or what? I am not running scared of progress. Am I lighting oppression? Am I lighting oppression? I'm repeating it here. Quite frankly, so long as Guyana is run with good governance, I don't care three hoots who run the country. So long as people are treated fairly in this country, systems are working, I don't care who run the country. But at this juncture, I know the PPP is not good for Guyana. Because they're doing a piss poor job. Piss poor job they're doing. So, they're not removing red tape by coming to your community and say, give me your application and I will get you your land. Tell me where's the skill, I will get you your job. They're enslaving you. They're messing with your mind. They're entrapping you. You want to help the people? Let the system work. And let the system work without interference. I know they got some Boxorian contractors, young and old, who sing in the praises of Jagdeo. Why? Because Jagdeo withdrew the tenders for the roads in Buxton to be done, and instead of it going through the correct process of tendering and everybody what would I say, submitting a tender, everybody bidding, and may the best man win. He said, you and you are going to get you out this road, that road, and the other road to do. So that you ever walk around with a chip on your shoulder and say, yeah, me's a contractor. Jagdeo give me contract. Jagdeo is a good man. So like I said, that behavior is not saving, it's not helping people, it's not helping Buxtonians or helping anybody. It is saving the PPP and Jagdeo. Why? The fact-finding team is coming. And when the question asks what has been done for or in African Guyanese communities as part of the developmental trust of Guyana, they ain't got nothing to show. They ain't got nothing to show, and so they're running around like headless chicken that need a boiling thread, fish out of the water. And they run into all of these African Guyanese communities now to say, I come to help y'all. I come to help y'all. Well, I'm saying they ain't come to help y'all. They come to save themselves or help themselves. to continue to oppress you at the end of the day. Keep that in mind. Listen out for when the fact-finding mission arrives, because they're going to be going to some black communities. I know they're coming to Buxton. And Jack, you know that Buxton is one of the places that they would come. Jack, you knows Buxton is one of the places where the fact-finding mission will come. And so what he does? He runs out in front of them and say, hey, yeah, y'all take this, shut your mouth. Abusers. Abusers. Beat up the wife. And then go buy her a pretty dress. I love you. I come to save you. I love you. I come to make you pretty. Go to the hair salon and do your face and do facial and do your hair. And so I look this dress. So you're going to hide your bruises. You're going to hide your bruises. And I will carry you on my arm, knowing very well that you're battered and bruised physically and mentally. But it makes me look good because you look good. That's what Jack doing here. Run out in front of them. Let me go to Buxton. Let me go to Dazel. The fact-finding mission, they're going to go there. Let us buy their silence. I can only highlight the ploy. It is for people to react to it. It is for people to react to it. And that is why when I highlight the issues, you think blackout was the only issue just now? Why do you think I had to restart the program? Because once I went and get the generator, they do the usual trick. But I can't be daunted. I can't be daunted. We have to be woke. We have to stay woke. It's 8:30. There are other parts of this video that I would like to analyze and talk about. But I usually like to give you your say. The lines are opened. Let's talk about egoism, narcissism, God complex, and the stray dog theory. I don't know if there's such a theory, but I calling it that theory, the stray dog theory. You see a stray dog on the road. Sometimes, and let me twist it up for you. Sometimes you yourself is responsible for where that dog is. You yourself responsible for where that dog is. But then you go like the savior. You go like the savior. To get into the mind of the dog by feeding it and buying loyalty. Call it life or cultivating, whichever one you want to call it.
Good morning to you. Good morning to you and all my black brothers and sisters in Guyana there. Well done, my beloved son, who I'm well pleased. You're going to tear them up with knowledge. With your knowledge, you're going to tear the PPP them up from now to election. And I am saying again, you are qualified to be the next Prime Minister of Guyana. And Mr. Paul Slow is qualified to be the next Minister of Home Affairs. Left Flat Garden, move on. I just always said, Jack Joe is not a politician. Jack Joe do not rule Guyana as a politician. He rule Guyana as a politics. That's all he do, politics. And I do hope the boxing people listen to you and be careful, don't fall in that trap. I got a bombshell this morning for drop. But first of all, let me ask you about Miss Rhonda. Is she okay? Because I missed her voice couple morning.
Yeah, she's okay. I got a message from her last night.
So you're okay?
Yeah, I got a message from her.
Thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much. Now, it is time for black people, black parents alone, cry out for any dead concern from them army daughter, from them soldier son and soldier daughter. When the government changed, Flash Garden say to the opposition leader that when you take office, you have to change the law that each and every young must recruit for going in the army, because there will be a crisis, and it's time for we change the page. You will recruit them from 21 years to 30 or 40. Which one the opposition leader will take? Because he had the first and the last saying. But we have to recruit young. So the East Kenyan children, they must have to learn to go and fight for that island. What they benefit from and enjoy now. The Chinese that are born there too, they must go in there, make law from 21 years. We have to start build foundation with the army. Not only black men alone must go to represent the country and listen to them. Where we get Portuguese children, Kudi children, Chinese children, born with born, white children, American children. No, the system never changed. From the age of 21, Muhammad Ali did not go become Muhammad Ali at a point when America bring out that law. Because he said, hey, I must go for fight. My brother, who? You guys calling me nigger. Let me call me nigger. And you know what? The law passed, he got to go to jail. I spent some time for that. And Guyana must have they must change that national way. Black people alone must not go and protect your border. From the age of 21 to 30 or 25, which one? The law must change, what will the government change? So the people that got to send them, kick them, and then go to jail. Enough is enough. I know I'm going to get blows this morning. If my son Tuanal have to go, he got to go. Because when the law passed that Guyana, that place belongs to Guyana and Guyanese, Venezuela will not rest in peace. So we have to prepare for them, and we have to get more body, more choices. So we got to recruit them from now. When the government change, so let Jagdio protect them, that must change. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for your call.
Some people think that I don't talk to Emmanuel anymore. Why would they think that? Emmanuel has not been.
For those of you who saying the fact-finding team has left,
we'll make sure that she doesn't.
There's a difference
anyway.
Emanuela has been undeniably
between the fact-finding teams and the visitors to the government,
who has made waves in the comedy industry.
A team of New York lawmakers, if that is what we call them,
what has happened to Emanuela
visited this country.
In this video,
they visited the government.
No one has ever told you about.
I saw a photo with at least one of them in a blue gift bag. I wonder what is in the blue gift bag. It might be hush money.
A lot, but before then, make sure.
But there's an independent team that is coming to Guyana.
This video on the 22nd of July 2010. Emanuela Samuel was brought to
They're not representatives of the American government per se.
River State, Nigeria, but she's originally from Olu.
They are senators and so on, lawmakers and so on.
Believe that one day,
but they're coming independent,
poverty and shame, and push
to talk with the government again, talk with the opposition, talk with the society.
Emanuela had a way to make,
and then they will compile their report and submit it. They will share it with the Black Caucus, they will share it with the Senate, they will share it with the White House, whatever.
She was 5 years
so there's a difference.
But Angel, who is a content creator,
so Miranda don't rest easy.
Covered her.
She've not, or she've not driving it, don't rest easy.
To the spotlight.
It's in over till it's over. Call her live.
Good morning, Gaddafi. Man, you have pleased my heart with your explanation this morning to enlighten those who refuse to be enlightened. Now, I know for a fact that when nature goes against a man, there is very little he can do. Jagdio and the PPP has done black people's community so much egregious things that time is not sufficient on their hands right now to make things right. As you said earlier, they're jumping like fish out of water. All Jagdo is trying to do is to preserve his behind and the administration he runs. He doesn't care crap about black people. But the length of time they didn't do anything for those community, I doubt he can lay an impact now to mask the inabsence of actions for black people in those communities. But we know from historical past that there are always those weak souls amongst us who will behave like Jagdio is the gospel of truth and the gospel of assistance. This guy cares nothing about black people. And you have made it so abundantly clear by what you explained to them. And I don't know what the hell they have to look for to pick up this information that you're giving. You give it free. Free as a bird. Even if you don't think, you're putting them on a path where they can start thinking. What more do they have to see when Jagdio took upon himself to left his office as vice president to go to those communities and be able to say, this is the Messiah, I've just arrived, I'm going to help you. What crap is that? You don't have to be shrewd to see it's a gimmick. As soon as those communities left, fact-finding team leave, it's going to be more draconian than it was before. So why are they allowing themselves to be cajoled by a man who cares nothing about black people and poor Indians? This guy don't care anything about the country. All about himself, family and friends. What's the matter with us, people in Guyana? What's going on with them? When are they going to open their eyes and see which direction the breeze is blowing? Or feel which direction the breeze is blowing? It's time, bro. What do you want? Some of you, if you take a belt and squeeze your belly, you will tear apart how Jagdio got you so fragile. And yet, you're going to be easily cajoled like if this man is the Messiah. This man's a crook. He's the most corrupt thing that we have ever seen or known in Guyana. No one comes close to him.
Morning, neighbor, morning, are you morning? It's 7 hours 31 on the 1st of November in the year 2023. Let me be honest with you, I don't even know where the time went this morning. You know, sometimes you're up and you're just skylarking. Sometimes you're just skylarking. Yeah, it's like I was skylarking this morning. I don't know what I did and where the time went, but the time just went. Morning, are you morning? Welcome to the program. It's 7:31 hours on the 1st of November in the year 2023. I am your host, Kidaki Amsterdam, the Buxtonian. Welcome to Guyanese Morning Time. How was you yesterday? What did you do different yesterday than the day before, or the weeks and years before yesterday? Do you intend to continue that trend today? Or do you intend to stick to what you stuck to for all the years and days and so on and so on? Talk to me. Does it sound better now? Right? Running on over. You know you got a hearing problem because you come up in the boom boom generation Just one of them man who used to sit down at the back of them Kitty Campbellville minibus. Don't think I forget you, you know. In fact, them Plaisance bus, sit down at the back of them Plaisance bus with them big speakers underneath. The seat is the boom box, is the bass box, and you just sit down and you're riding the bus all day, all night. So now you complain about not hearing? Morning, yeah. Morning. Sandra Hanover now. Sandra is here. Sandra, what's your relationship to Ronell? I don't want to assume. I'm asking questions just as though y'all just mind me business. I want my y'all business too. Right? What they say, the best business in the line of business is to mind your own business. That's not true. You gotta mind people business. You gotta mind your own government business. So I'm asking you, what did you achieve yesterday? Ronell said family. Well, what family mean, you know? In GT when we says my family, you know, I'm a family. Sometimes I gotta dig deeper. Anyway, as we talking, what were you able to achieve yesterday? Now, Sandra, you see the difference between men and women? Sandra is more specific. She says, he is my cousin. Right? So I gotta wonder what kind of family you're talking about. Right? I got one what kind of family you're talking about. Sandra is very specific. She said he is my cousin. Eliminates all doubt. You ain't gonna ask nothing else. Well, of course, I could ask cousins from which side of the family. Anyhow, we're talking. What different did you do yesterday? Did you do anything to try to change the world? To try to change Guyana? To try to change the fortunes of your family and your next generations? Huh? Did you? Well, I'm still trying. I'll tell you that. I'm still trying. Rhonda came visiting me yesterday. She said she is still trying because she was outside at GCOM protesting and so on. With about 8 others. Come on, man. The journey is not short when you know it's a long journey. And people falling off the train already. Right? People falling off the train already. When I started the protest outside of GCOM, we were what? About a dozen? And we kept growing to maybe about 2 dozen. Right? But things falling away, things falling apart. We have to find new strategies or we have to find new energies. Because the presence in front of GCOM in large numbers is important. I know I'm saying it's important. It's important. And so it's important that the opposition leader and the people that he leads recognizes that importance. And since it is close to elections, it is time the opposition leader pull out his A game. Because through the grapevine I'm hearing, yeah, the man say he gonna call a big protest, he gonna call a big protest, he gonna call a big protest, but we ain't seeing the big protest happening. Are we going to wait until the 11th hour? Sarah Lynch told us early in this year or late last year that if we want electoral changes or changes in the electoral machinery, we have to start then or before then. So every day that goes by without serious action towards achieving that goal is a day wasted. Right? Y'all understand me? This is Marcia Alicock Halley. Welcome to the program. Is a day wasted? Is a hour wasted? Is minutes wasted? Y'all know I just say give the man a fair break. And likewise, I also say when I think the man is slacking up, it's time for him to tighten up. I know there's division over in the PNC and so on, but I also know that if the leader really wants to organize a large protest, the leader can organize a large protest. Okay? Nathan Fraser and Maxwell, let me tell you this. I don't believe that you have to feed people or offer people food to get them to protest. I don't believe it. I sincerely don't believe it. I think it's human nature enough for people to recognize what's important for them, what their causes are, and support it without having to be bribed. Good? And so I won't be insulting the intelligence or the integrity of anyone by telling them come and protest, you're going to get food. Or telling them come and protest, you're going to get pay. People are smart enough, people are bright enough, people are intellectual enough to recognize that protesting on certain issues is for their own benefit and long-term good of the nation and the next generations. Having free, fair, and credible elections is one of those long-term good. I can say to you, if people come out to protest, it's likely that they will be given some form of refreshment, especially with this scorching heat. I'm sure they're going to be given water to stay rehydrated. But that must not be used as debate, if you want to call it that. That must not be used as the reason for turning out to protest. All of you got to protest, they're paying. All of you got to protest, they're giving food. No. Right? So keep that in mind. The protest is necessary. It is necessary to keep GCOM in the news. It's necessary to keep highlighting the fact that the voters' roll needs cleansing and all of that. Good. Now, there are two other things I want to address before I move on to the meat of the matter this morning. One is someone at the gutter dwellers saying that, listen, yesterday I achieved listening to you spreading race hate. And divisiveness and so on. You know what is race hate and what is divisive? What the PPP as a government has continued to do to the economically challenged people in this country. I don't like the word poor. I generally don't like the word poor. To the ordinary man and woman in this country. To the people who go there daily to try to make a living for themselves and their next generations. That is hatred. What the PPP does to them. I'm sure many of you would have seen by now. I hope you would have seen by now. A video of, or videos of Yuvraj Narayan. Is that his name? Yuvraj Narayan. meeting with vendors on the Kitty Seawall, Kingston Seawall. And if you didn't, I'm not even sure where I can find it, because I know I saw it. I encourage you, go and look for it. Oh, I think I see it here. Let me see if this is it. Right? No, this is not it. Right? I encourage you, go and look for it. Because when you look at it, you're going to see what one guy looks like. You will see what one guy looks like. And then you will come to understand where the division is, and where the wickedness is, and where the oppression is. For several times I've been driving along that Seawall area. First and foremost, I've said to you before, I've explained to you before that the structures that are being built on the seawall, or were being built on the seawall, are structures mirroring those that the coalition built on the Essequibo. I think Supernam. And allowed ordinary citizens who are vending there for years to occupy them, because the coalition recognized that that was where the people were getting their livelihood from. And the place needed enhancement and modernization and all of that. And the coalition undertook it, and they did it. That project was copied. Well, technically copied, but the coalition intended to create the same boardwalk, as I call it, from the Kitty Seawall, I think, all the way around to Starbuck. Because they recognized that area was becoming a hub for entertainment, and the ordinary man and woman was creating sources of income out there, applying their trade out there. But unfortunately, the coalition was forced out of office. It came out of office. Immediately, I can tell you, immediately, the PPP and their friends set their eyes on that area. That Kitty Seawall, Kingston Seawall area. If I'm not lying, the Chief River Defense Officer, if that is the correct name, is a guy named Samad. And very early, once the PPP took office, instructions went out, and they started to do certain things on that seawall. One, they started going to tell the vendors they must be registered to be regularized. Then they started shifting them from one side, the side closest to the Marriott, further to the Kitty Pump Station. They started shifting them down. Despite the fact that you had to be regularized, according to them, you had to register, you had to know somebody to get back a spot in that area. You had to know somebody who knows somebody, or you had to be prepared to pay somebody for your application for a spot to be even acknowledged, much less granted. I've been following that for years. I've mentioned to you for several programs that what was developing on that seawall there is going to show you a clear case of the PPP friends, families, and cronies. And so it has come to the fore now. Because the kiosks, or whatever they call them, the taxpayers' money was used to build under some First Lady project, have now been completed and handed over to our friends, family, and cronies. Must go and see them in their splendor. Double deck, what we call what is called the roof garden and so on. All nicely done for the rich and famous associated with the PPP with taxpayers' money. What happens to the ordinary taxpayers in the country or the ordinary people in the country? They have been forced further away from that stretch between the Marriott and the Pegasus to the Seawall bandstand. Let me situate it there. If you drive from High Street all the way back to the Seawall bandstand, you will see what is one Guyana for you. In fact, no, you have to take the entire journey. You have to drive from High Street all the way to Vicingeon Road by the Kitty Pump Station and observe, and then you will see what is one Guyana. You will see the rich and famous in their splendor, prepared by taxpayers' money, and then you will see the ordinary man or woman forced away from that magnificence to jostle each other over Camp Street towards, from Camp Street, let's say, all the way back to the Kitty Pump Station. That is where you will see Plastic City, you will see Tent City, and so on and so forth. That is wicked and divisive. That is racist. Because if you go and you check the history of the development of commerce, if I can call it that, on that stretch, that Seawall stretch, you would see that for the most part, the people who are vending out there, out of baskets, out of push carts, out of tents and so on, were African Guyanese for the greater part. And so for the greater part, African Guyanese have been displaced by the First Lady using taxpayers' money. I was on that Seawall. I passed there, I think, Sunday evening. And I observed no less than 15 containers. No less than 15 containers, empty containers. All of them carrying the same branding. And I took photos of them. Because I was asking myself, what is the next project with these containers? I intended to post them and ask people what they know about these containers, what they are going to be used for. And my guess is, I don't know for a fact, but my guess is that they are going to be used there to create some more spots for the rich and famous. Because one of the things which is being done in this country right now is the use of containers to build offices and homes and other things. That's a new trend, right? And so I know that is happening. And when I looked at those containers, I asked myself, are these containers out here, number one, to prevent the ordinary man and woman utilizing this space, and number two, to eventually become entertainment spots like the First Lady has used taxpayers' money to create? I don't know if you've seen these containers, right? But if you've seen them, I would be happy if you can tell me what you know about them, right? I would be happy for you to tell me what you know about them. I'm going to show you what the container looks like. Cast your eyes to my screen. thermal tank. I researched thermal tank. It's basically a business that supplies containers and stuff like that. Right? So all of these containers are labeled thermal tank. All of them are labeled thermal tank. Look at them there. My count was no less than a dozen. I think there might be about 15 to 18 containers out there. Right? If these containers are used to do what I suspect they're there for, I want you to convince me that the ordinary man and woman will be able to acquire one of those to ply their trade. Okay? I want y'all to convince me that the ordinary man and woman would be able to afford the arm and leg that they will want for you to occupy one of those containers when they turn them into buildings. That is what discrimination is. That is what wickedness is. Not me coming here and pointing out the ills of this government. Listen to these parents. It wasn't the plan for this morning's program, but listen to them.
I said to him, I'm not removing and go nowhere. Right?
That's the point that you guys are right.
You gotta go beyond Camp Street. So I said, and the children are right here. We're not blocking anywhere. We're not going into the play park. We're not harming anybody. We're just providing for the kids. Where might have parents inside of there was telling them that's unfair. What is it these people is doing? Any young guy turn and say, why they can't go in the corner or down there? You find some way to put yes, we try to do something. But Mr. Mayor, Mr. Narai, back in 3 years back, the same thing they're coming to do. Every minute they're taking these people up here, shining them back so. Telling them they sell the car with a mobile until now one of the vendors and get back the mobile. They go and tell them the East Coast that to get. Right? So I'm a mother of 10 Mr. Right. And I portray my business, this small business here, in order for the children to supply to the school every day. Right? And I don't want the welfare to come to me to tell me that me sending the children to school and they give me $40,000, they $40,000 can't do anything. That is just chicken feed money. Yes. Right? Because I just gotta go in my pocket to make ends meet every night I be out there. I just want to rest Mr. Right. But I just gotta do it because it's hard for my children to have a straight meal and to go to school every day. Right? And I need the world to see this. That we are poor people. We get an oil and still punishing more. We gotta work 24 hours. I came back yesterday morning from Kirby's Town. They just took ends meet. Right? We're the first person they're supposed to tell it over there to have one of those stalls. They never did one day tell any one of us that they would give us a chance to have one of those stalls. They take their own people and put them there. And when they were opening there, I heard the president's wife, first lady said, she said, it's to the vendors up here. She helped poor people and small business. And I was standing right here saying, it's a lie. But because of the noise, they couldn't even hear me. Right? Next 2 days we was back out. And Afro guy, this woman, she was, get back there. Just as I asked her, I said, I'm your child. I said, get higher fire and dismiss, you know. I send people squazy water for you, you know. Just leave me alone, mom. I'm not thieving under them. If you want me to do crime, I will do crime. But the first person I'm going to do is with you. I'm going to rob you first, and then I'm going to be the front paper. That's what I go for. Right? Because I have my 10 children to go to school. My son might see it. See, this is it. Don't easy. I got to pay.
got
Every
to
minute
say?
the teachers are selling for something. What do you think it is?
What you got to say, ma'am?
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Ryan. I'm a vendor out here, an ice cream vendor. I sell ice cream, homemade ice cream. And the only time I come out here is Sunday afternoon. And when I come out here, the police would harass you. Mom, you cannot go up there to sell. You cannot sell here. So where must I go to sell? At one time there was the next officer. She wouldn't take it. Her name, she was like, Madam, get off of this tarmac. I was on today.
That's an example. And there are several others. So don't think it's wrong.
All due respect to you, what must I do? Where must I go? What do you expect me to do? This is what I do for a living. I sell ice cream. I make my own ice cream and I sell. And she said, Mom, I'm sorry, but I'm working orders from the First Lady. Whatever orders you get is what we working. So I asked, what do you want me to do? Steal? Do you want me to go and pick a fare? Do you want me to go and rob people? I'm a single woman and I'm hustling for an honest dollar. I have bills to pay. My rent is $75,000. I owe courts. I have a machine to pay for. I have water bill. I have internet, light bill. And those are no easy bills to pay. And I come out here hustling for an honest dollar. I want to ask Mistress Ali, is this is the one Guyana that she's speaking about? It doesn't seem so to me. Maybe I misunderstand it. This is separation. I'm a Guyanese and I can't sell out here. I didn't.
Anything to say?
I get me ask snippet.
On my behalf, I'm a single parent, and this is where I get my ordering for all those years I used to sell plantain chicken. Any these little activities, wherever it be, out distance we go, we get fired, but out here we the worst. And we are not settling for this year. Because look last weekend I was over there when the policeman come, I was fixing up my lights with the baby. Just as he come, I had to button and sling she up like this just to move off to please the police. I had to turn to him and say, hey, I have fees to pay. So I could get him, I could look this way that I could be out. And if I don't have a job out there, where would I go and get it? Out there, it's there more than 20 years to sell out there. Now the job is Seawall so fancy, they push me aside and put faces they're supposed to be. This has got to be a stop, it has to be a stop because everybody have to do a honest dollar.
Yes, those are just snippets. There are lots of other videos like these. But I can't. I won't spend the program, spend time on the program, spend all the time on the program to show you the other videos. But I want you all to understand what discrimination looks like. What racism looks like. What race hate looks like. Miranda say, is Pandit Yubraj trying to promote himself as a new political leader using the vendors? Are the vendors' story made up? Leadership arises when there's a need. And so if Yubraj is providing leadership in this instance here, I congratulate Yubraj. I can tell people I was slow to the draw because, as you see, I took photos. But I always pass there and I always say this is the prime example of what one Guyana looks like. The super rich, funded by the government of Guyana money, through the First Lady, in one corner, and the economically challenged pushed to the other end. You listen to that video? One of the women said they were told that they have to go beyond Camp Street. Because beyond Camp Street is the ghetto. That's where they gotta go, beyond Camp Street. They're ghetto dwellers and they're intended to remain ghetto dwellers. They must go so. But the crasses like Shivraj and the others gonna come and talk crap. I ain't gonna deal with them and the crap. I really don't, I just choose when I just waste my time on them. But that is a prime example of what is divisive and what is racist and what is oppressive. I got the answer. I always say you don't have to experience it to learn from it. You could look at other people's experience and you could make it work for you. Look at this video. Look at this video.
What's it now? When the property is not even ready to get it all life in our house or something. What's it now? What's it now? Should I got flowers? Come on, weak man. Come on, weak. What's it?
What's up, boss? How you doing?
How do I answer questions?
Can I get your license, registration, insurance, please?
What have I been pulled over for?
Speeding, sir.
What speed was I going?
You going?
When the property is not even ready to get it all life in our house or something. What's it now?
I'm on my program. Okay.
Should I got flowers? When the property is not even ready to get it all life in our house or something. What's it now? What's it now? Should I got flowers? Come on, weak man. Come on.
I don't think y'all getting the gist of
48.
48?
48, man.
And that's some horse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I record everything.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I have this radar.
right? I'm going to show you another video which might explain what I'm talking about clearer. Because I want, my purpose here in the morning is to educate you, remember that.
Video is good or that it should be. So disclaimer, I'm not saying the activity that occurred in this video is good or that it should be applauded, but I will say I understand. In Port Antonio, Jamaica, this hotel was burnt to the ground because the owners of the hotel basically put a policy saying that no Jamaicans could stay there. Only Chinese and Caucasian guests were allowed to stay and utilize the private beach. Now, it should be clarified that the owners of the hotel are not Jamaican themselves and are believed, I don't know for sure, but are believed to be Chinese investors from, China. Anyways, here's the video. Now, I'm not saying what they did was correct, but if you know Jamaicans, they do not take ish like that. So what do y'all think? Were they right or wrong? Also, it should be noted that not a single person was hurt or injured in this incident, to my knowledge. If someone has other knowledge, feel free to put it down in the comments. Anyways, follow for more. Appreciate you.
Tonight, the deadly airstrike at a refugee camp in Ghana.
Them tell me. Miranda Brown should not tell me that I must do proper analysis of situations before I make pronouncements. I say that I've been looking at it from quite a while. I am saying that I know what I am talking about. Y'all could continue to bury your head in somebody's backside. As we like to say in Ghana, bury your head in somebody's arsehole and pretend it's not happening. But the people out there who spoke to you, Raj Narayan, are real people. They got real faces. They live in real places in Ghana. And their stories are real. What else would you like to see? Miranda Brown, Shivraj, Dean, Alia. What else you want to see? The Jamaicans, When the Jamaican government gave access to a particular section of the beach to the Chinese to build a hotel and so on, and the Chinese in turn decided that Jamaicans were not welcome, the Jamaicans burned it to the ground. That's what they did. They burnt it to the ground. I'll show you 2 videos. I show you 2 videos. I don't need to see the other side, quite frankly, because I know what the other side is. Listen to the young lady. She was standing there at the opening when Ariali said, the first lady said, she's helping poor people. But check there, you will see the evidence. Mouth say you are shit, but you feel them. A lot of these people come out and they talk niceties. But look at their actions and you will know what is in their hearts. Like that, it was the recommendation from me. The police could come after I make the recommendation. Or let me tell you what my observation is. It's only take one madman for do madness. It only takes one madman to do madness. I told you all about a woman I spoke to years ago or months ago who said she went to jail for arson and she would do it again if the price right. A lot of people talk about life and freedom. They like their life, they want to stay alive, or they want to continue to enjoy the freedom. I always ask the question, what quality of life we talking about? What kind of freedom we talking about? If I can't get, you can't get. Especially that I build the shit and you come and covet it from me, then you can't get. Let none of we ain't get. And until Guyanese start to take the kind of actions that will say to these oppressors that we will adopt a scorch the earth policy like the PPP has always had, this is not going to stop. It will not stop. The Kitty Seawall, Kingston Seawall is not the first of its kind. It's not the first of its kind. Check around the country and see how the PPP consistently pushes people off of prime business spots for their friends and their cronies. I told you all about the stopping of the amnesty at City Hall. Look and see how the PPP and their cronies will make attempts to gobble up people's lands and properties, which are in arrears. And the representatives come here on a daily basis to tell me I'm spewing racism and divisiveness. And I don't have the facts. And the facts are, you know, it's funny. It's a literal embarrassment for them. For the facts to be facing them in front of their eyes every single day. And they still ask you for it. They say there is none so blind as those who choose not to see. You want me to tell you something? I have an application in the Ministry of Works, or Ministry of Public Infrastructure as it might be called now still. Ministry of Works. I have an application in there for a vending spot along the Seawall. It was submitted in 2020. I never even got an acknowledgement. I never even got an acknowledgement. Y'all speak to that. Y'all speak to that. I know Indo-Guyanese friends who have said to me that they could hook me up to get this spot. One is related to Samad. He got spot. And I guess other people around them got spot. And tell me, he said, Amsterdam, I could hook you up for see Samad and you're going to get his spot. And my response will always be, I'm not interested in doing any backdoor deal with anybody to get anything. I must be able to go through the same process like every Guyanese and get. Or every Guyanese must be able to go through the same process like I can and get. In other words, I'm making backdoor deal. This is not about wanting for myself. Every citizen of this country must be treated fairly and equally and benefit from the national patrimony. So you're asking for the facts? There are some facts here. There are some facts here. I always say, and I will continue to say to people who listen to me, you know what the outcome, the expected outcome is. You know if you apply, they will not give you. But apply nonetheless. Put it in the record. When the history is written, the records must show that you follow the procedure and they discriminated against you. That's my recommendation. I applied. I didn't get none. Story got two sides. Yes, story got two sides. Those fancy edifices were built for the friends and cronies of the PPP using taxpayers' money. That is one side. The other side is poor people, economically challenged people who are operating in that area long before Area Ali sometime was even born, have been displaced. They have been pushed away from that area and they've been bullied out of an economic space that they created. You want to liken that onto something international? I stayed away from discussing Israel, Gaza, Palestine. But there's a prime example of what the PPP government through Area Ali and whoever else is doing under Seawall. Because the so-called Israelis displaced the Palestinians who occupied that land for centuries prior to them. The Palestinians chose to fight. Every day they got to fight because the oppression is continuous. Hamas decide they're going to stand up against Israel. That's their choice because the oppression is continuous. You see, sometimes we comment on world things and we look at things on the big scene, but we don't see it right next to us because it is smaller, but it is the same concepts. You was there? Just as how the Palestinians have been displaced for centuries or from lands that they have occupied for centuries, just like that the vendors and the Seawall are being displaced by the PPP from an area that they occupied for decades. No, Chef Nata, I'm not indirectly suggesting to burn down the stall. I said burn them down. If I can't get, you can get. So it's not suggestion anymore. How about that? Is that what you want me to say? It's not suggestion anymore. I say we must learn from other people's experiences. The Jamaicans burned down a hotel because they couldn't use it in their country, on their beach. The Palestinians are fighting every day with Israel because they have been displaced from lands that they have occupied for centuries. So if you can't get, I can't get. If I can't get, you can't get. That's the principle. Suggestion? Suggestion? The PPP is not suggesting that black people must suffer under their feet. They're living it daily, they're acting it daily. So that's no suggestion, boss. Some madman must take one for the team. Some mad woman must take one for the team. Just as how when the friends of the PPP get caught with cocaine and so on and more than that kind of thing, they sell them for psych evaluation. Somebody who got a math certificate must take one for the team so they could go for psych evaluation. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Somebody has to put a stop to this madness. Some way, somehow. Some people lose lives, some people lose property, some people lose freedom. But is it a worthwhile sacrifice? I'd rather think so. It's 8:20. Let the lines open. The lines are opened. I challenge Shiv Nath and Miranda Brown to call. And stop typing and hiding behind that screen. Call. Show us you have a voice. Show us you have a voice. Where's Mark Phillips in a situation like this? Majority black people suffering. Where's Mark Phillips? Where's Polari Joe Armon? The woman who sits at the Ministry of Tourism, Lion Waldron, where is she? Huh? Where are these folks who said I got black people interested are there? Where are they? I want to know. Y'all talk to me. Tell me where they're there. Call you live. Good morning.
Yes, good morning to you, all my black brothers and sisters in Guyana. Happy Wednesday to you guys. You know, I am saying again, you are qualified to be the next Prime Minister for Guyana. And Paul Flo is qualified to be the next Minister of Home Affairs. This is what Flash Garden always talk about. If I can't get a cup of oil for drink, other people cannot get a cup of oil for drink too. Don't blame me, I'm not racial. If black man can't get water upstairs, other man can't get water upstairs. If Flash Garden was living in Guyana, Flash Garden, if you got to dress like a woman and wear a heel and wig and walk nighttime and bust all them lane. So, different man can't get water and couldn't get water. All we cannot. If black man can't get water, nobody can get water. That is what we have to do. And stop talking and talking and talking on there. I want to repeat myself again from yesterday. Because Amal said that I racial. Amal don't know what racial. I ban and go and make it too racial to all the people in Guyana. When the government change, the government have to bring in a law that every teenager have to sign up for certain country. Why black man alone must feel the pressure? Why black people children alone must be in army for protect them? Wicked calling Guyana? No. Chinese must serve the army. The Koreans must serve the army. The Portuguese, the Chinese, the Armenians, and the Ukraine, as long as they're in Guyana, they must sign up to serve the army. Not only when something happens, only black people, parents must cry alone. All them other parents must cry again. We got to change the law. We got to bring that to work. Because when Guyana receive victory, that the land belongs to Guyana Guyanese, Venezuela will not rest in peace. They will test Guyanese to see who's going to help them. So we must be ready for them. And it's time for the government change them rules and regulation. And let me say this to the opposition leader. Don't cut me off because you don't like me to call his name. When you go in and sign again, make sure you don't sign for the Prime Minister come out from AFC. We already signed for them twice for AFC get Prime Minister office. But this time the Prime Minister must come out from WPA because WPA is proved to all Guyanese and Flash Garden that they are capable to be a Prime Minister for everyone, not no one Guyana. WPA was there long before AFC. But like Mr. Amsterdam announced yesterday, a lot of black folks who are known to AFC and what they bring to the table up in the disaster on Guyanese. Disaster. And what Mr. Amsterdam said last week, I'm agreeing with you. WPA is supposed to sit on the table last week there because WPA stinking for us all Guyanese every day. And we must make up our mind for working for WPA come next election. As God is saying and say somebody got to take the turn. Turn that page. We have to put him there. My mother said if she has to call come voting time for go and vote for Abi Naku to be president, black people, if I have to vote, if I have to call and give Mr. Amsterdam that vote for become Prime Minister, give it to him. As long as God wake you guys up. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for your call. The lines remain open. 6225923 is the number to call. Call it live.
Yes, good morning, good morning to all the viewers and listeners. I wanted to call this morning and speak about a couple of topics. One that you already explained because I was going to draw the comparison with what's going on with us right now in Israel and Gaza, Israel and Palestine, because Gaza is not, Palestine is the Gaza and the West Bank, and Israel has occupied the West Bank, as we all know. But you've already explained that. But the other thing I want to talk about is revenge politics. Where we see the vice president who's going out and telling black people, going in black areas and saying that, the coalition was in government for how many years and they haven't done anything for y'all. The thing is that he is telling people now that, and showing people, this is what we do. We are in power, and we're going to take away y'all stuff. We're going to take away everything from y'all and give it to our people. And he's telling his supporters that as well, right? So continue to vote for us because we're going to continue taking away black folks' stuff and give it to you. And if you're telling black folks, if you don't vote for us, we're going to take away your stuff and give it to our supporters. And that is not the way to go, because if we continue with this revenge politics, we're going to end up really like the way things are right now in the Gaza Strip, right? So my fellow Africans, we look into get back in power. And to vote our leaders, our party back in power, our parties back in power, the coalition back in power. But we're not looking at revenge politics. Because revenge politics, it won't bring us anyway. Yes, we do need affirmative action. And that should be rightly placed for the right set of people. But we're not looking for revenge politics, because it's not taking us anywhere. It's going to take us only where we are right about now. So Barajagio is very I don't know what the word to use to describe it. To promoting such a thing. To be promoting such a thing. But finally, I would like to say that that you're saying that you're not suggesting, people are saying that you're suggesting that they burn things down, but I'm saying I'm going to use a few choice words here. Not only burn things down, we should move fuckers out of our way. We should go out there and get really violent. Blood must spill, because that's what they're looking for. Seriously, thank you.
Thank you, caller. Let me tell you something. There's several things I want to tell you. I don't think blood has to be spilled. I don't think blood must spill. I think the wicked must be confronted. Whatever the results of that confrontation, so be it. They just like to talk about collateral damage. And so in every situation you end up with collateral damage. I like to talk about opportunity cost. The opportunity cost is losing something when you choose another. And if you choose to push people out of the economic space for your friends and cronies, then the opportunity cost of that might be peace. It might be safety. It might be peace of mind. I remember stories I'm talking. You remember someone had started a business on the Seawall and they had done a nice benab. I understand, I read from that thing, it had cost that brother a couple $1 million, I think, to create that benab on the Seawall here. And one night he was at home and he heard it was on fire. He has not been able to rebuild that benab as far as I'm aware. I wonder what's the story behind that. People don't just watch a building and burn it down or light it on fire. Something must have gone wrong there. Maybe he made a choice and lived with the opportunity cost. In terms of revenge politics, I don't believe in revenge politics. I don't promote revenge politics. What I promote is reparative. What the president say? Reparative. Reparative. Justice or politics. That's what I promote. And let me explain that to you. I don't believe that the ordinary man and woman in this society must pay for the sins of the politicians and the criminal elements in the PPP and any other government, as a matter of fact. I believe it is the responsibility of the people and their political representatives at the end of the day, especially when they get political power, to go after those who have stolen the wealth of this country and reclaim it. And I'm not hiding behind it. It's no secret. I say it every time. Whenever the opposition gets into power, people are asking for me to be prime minister and be this and be that and thing. Quite frankly, y'all just give me the authority to go and find these crooks and bring them to justice. Find them. Let the government stand behind me and say, Mr. Amsterdam, find them and bring them to justice. Let them come before the people and answer for all of the stolen wealth. I ain't got no interest in beating up nobody at Annandale or Lusignan or Traspay because they look like them crooks and criminals in government. I ain't got no interest in taking away nobody house land because they get it under the PPP. I got interest in going after them bigwig politicians who stole the wealth of this country. And if the trail leads to their friends and cronies, I have an interest in reclaiming those wealth for the citizens of this country. It's not revenge politics. Call it live. Good morning.
Good morning, Kadaki. First thing I want to talk about is the notion that people, well, I have been saying this thing for a very long time on your program. Black people own nothing in Guyana, absolutely nothing. Even if they have a cake shop here or there, that is considered nothing. The Indians or the oligarchs, whoever, however we want to frame them, own everything. And they are the ones who are enjoying the sweet out of Guyana. I've always been saying, and I don't care how people take this, you cannot have change if you don't make sacrifices. Lives will have to be lost, properties will have to be destroyed, and whatever comes with that concomitantly will have to be endured. Nothing good comes easily. You would prefer to just sit there and take the mashing, do nothing, and at the end of all of that, you have to go begging, and they would look like if they are the messiahs? No. If the mass can't get, no elite group should get. Let everybody start from ground zero. Do what you have to do to make them understand that this is serious business. We're not here to play. A few billions here and there, especially those ones which look like they cost a arm and a leg, let them go to the ground. People would get jailed, some would be shot, whatever the case is, but that is the sacrifice you have to take to make a change. Because these folks don't understand change in any other means. The other thing, they are talking about revenge politics. As far as I'm concerned, that's a misuse or out-of-term word used so often by people when they're out of office. Should the coalition go back in power, and you start to go after all those monsters who stole the life and breath out of Guyana, you go after them to determine how on this God's earth could they have amassed so much wealth and to live this palatial life. How on earth they would have worked for 20, 30, 40 years in the public service and can acquire all of that. That in itself, when you start to go against them, they will see as revenge. So it's like a case where it's damn if you do, damn if you don't. But you have to do. So let them perceive it how they want to perceive it. And the last thing I want to talk about, there are certain positions, if the coalition goes back into office, that cannot, and I'm going to emphasize the word cannot, go into the hands of certain people from AFC. For one, the Home Affairs position should be taken away unilaterally. Like Home Affairs, get it away from them. Because I know when they go and they get the Home Affairs position, I know who will most likely to get that. They are very sympathetic towards the friends I have in the PPP. I have friends, you have friends, yes, but it's like you are the only person I have friends. Those in the PPP don't see you as a friend. Because they see you taking a lot of licks and they're putting their mouth, they're just being quiet. So where's the friendship? So we have to put strong people in there who will not be emotionally bound because of this friendship notion. I have friends in there. And you piloting the way for them not to get the draconian method when they do the wrong. Kadaki, you have a wonderful day and God bless you.
Thank you for your call. Me story up on London Post. I don't hide my thoughts. I am plain spoken. I like to tell you what I intend to do. For one is forearmed. Jack D on them to tell people when they were in the opposition, we gonna reverse everything that the coalition did once we get into power. And they have lived to those words. Even to the growth and development in the country, the reverse. Blackout is now a thing of the day. No water and dirty water is now a thing of the day. All of that they reverse. Things, gains that the coalition has brought to the citizens of this country. All of that they reverse. So I'm telling them, and I'm making it known, my intention is to go after them thief in government. I don't need a cape. Just give me the authority. Call it life.
Yes. Good morning, Mr. Amsterdam. Good morning, everyone in the Guyanese diaspora. And good morning, all Guyanese. I want to comment on the whole discrimination point and points you were making. And I'll also agree a lot with what the previous caller shared. Because while persons pretend to be blind, these are the causative factors why President Robert Mugabe had to do what he did by reclaiming the land. And, you know, Amerindians have 18%, and people say that lands were taken from the Amerindians, and that's why lands had to be returned back to the Amerindians. So there's a definite global policy or a global precedent to replace things which were dispossessed. Okay, so so people who are pushing this policy of one Guyana and dispossessing and marginalizing people, there will come a time when the scale has to be balanced. And I hope they see that. I hope they see that. And I want PPP supporters to see that the PPP private sector must also see that the PPP is setting them up for a big fall. Right? Nothing happens in a vacuum. The Secretary General of the United Nations said the other day that Hamas isn't behaving like this just because they want to behave like this. It's because for 57 years they were dispossessed, disadvantaged. So nothing happens. There is cause and effect. And PPP private sector must seriously consider this, as they are considering in Suriname. You can't continue to disadvantage people and don't expect people to retaliate eventually. And don't think America is going to support you in that, because America believes in balancing the scale. Isn't that what they're doing in some places? Now I want to talk about discrimination as a policy. The PPP is pushing a bad policy, and that's the PPP private sector, they must see that. And I want the fact finders who are coming to Guyana to also see that the PPP is pushing a very discriminatory policy. There are elements of the One Guyana policy that fit the legal description of a standard called adverse disparate impact. Adverse disparate impact. As a result of the One Guyana policy, That adverse, desperate impact is largely what Mr. Kadaki has been talking about this morning. How the policy of the One Guyana policy has adversely and desperately impacted the society. We must look at the specific policy and or their practices. We must also look at how this One Guyana policy, because it's a policy, has adversely harmed black women and Amerindian women, adversely harmed the society as a whole. We must look at that. So I just wanted to point out that these are legal standards which the fact-finding team, coming from the United States, we want to say to the fact-finding team that we in Guyana have identified adverse, desperate impact, which is resulting from the One Guyana policy. We also see that in the Parliament or the National Assembly, that this One Guyana policy is adversely harming the entire way in which the PPP administrates in Guyana. So when we talk about marginalization and discrimination, quite obviously, these things would flow from such a policy. That is why we hear the coalition saying, friends, favorites. It's because it speaks to just a particular category of people, and it marginalizes or disenfranchises others. But the standard which I want Americans who are visiting Guyana as observation team, and Roysdale Ford and Amanza, who are lawyers, and the PNC chairman, Mr. Jordan, is to focus on adverse, desperate impact and present those types of standards to the American fact finder. Because under these types of standards, when we begin to apply this standard as a measure for the PPP One Guyana policy, everything that flows from that One Guyana policy is the reason why the PPP's administration and government is so lopsided. Lastly, on the issue of Amerindians. Amerindians have been marginalized in the sense that their lands and many things were taken from them. And there has been government policies to right those wrongs. There has been a government initiative in Parliament to right those wrongs. And we're also saying to the American fact finders, how would they go about righting those wrongs for African Guyanese? Once again, thank you for giving me the time to explain the issue of adverse, desperate impact and adversity and harm and disparity, all in that context. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for your call. We have some voice notes.
Good morning, Mr. Kadaki and listeners. I want to tell Miranda Brown that until she can tell us what is happening with the eastern side of that seawall, she has no right to be speaking on it. And I am listening to the clips, or I should say I have listened to the clips. And what I have seen is complete disrespect from the First Lady. for the people who were out there from the inception. There was no consultation. But then again, it's the modus operandi of the sitting government to disrespect structures, laws, and just go out there and do what they feel like. It's their modus operandi. You understand me? So, Miranda, until you can do that, keep your mouth shut. Stop trying to justify the actions of the sitting government with your nonsensical attitude. Right? Because we all know that you ain't making sense. You're not making sense. Secondly, there's a videotape circulating on social media about a Venezuelan, or I should say with a Venezuelan, saying that he had a conversation with Jaguio, and Jaguio has assured him that there will be no discrimination, etc. Right? Now I got some problems with that. The first problem I got is that if that tape is authentic, it tells us that those people are organized, right? And they are grouping themselves together to defend themselves. That's what it tells. Secondly, it tells me that there is something sinister going on with Jadio and these people, right? Now, how can that Venezuelan get up and say that he was assured by Jadio that their party does not operate like APNU? You see where the politics coming in, right? At this stage, why is Jadio still seeking to get political mileage off of a situation that can affect all Guyanese? Why is Jadio doing that? And why is nobody stopping Jadio from doing that? In an earlier program, you, Kadaki, had suggested that people in the opposition should start communicating with these people in their own language. Right? I know of one particular person. I know of that person, and I know he's fluent in Spanish. Why hasn't he done anything? If I can't vouch for the rest, I can vouch for him, and I know that he speaks fluent Spanish. What the hell is he doing? I am so disappointed right now in the opposition, because while you folks running around seeking positions, these people getting themselves organized. That's what they're doing. I am so disappointed in you guys, and then you want people to vote for you. What the hell is all of this? I am so not. When I saw that tape, many things went through my mind. Many things. A few of which I've pointed out. Opposition MPs, y'all slacking up again. And as usual, people like me will be cussed, but I don't care. Right? I love y'all, but I got to tell y'all when y'all wrong. And right now, y'all under severe, what am I going to say? Y'all are getting me vexed, and I got to say something. Basically, that's what I want to see. Stop it. Get up off of your butts, especially those lazy ones who, they're lazy for me, because I'm not seeing them active out there. I'm not seeing them doing anything out there. Right? Now, I'm so vexed, I don't come off of this live, because I don't want to offend Mr. Amsterdam, nor I don't want to offend the listeners. But seriously, opposition MPs, seriously, you know, years ago, my aunt told me a story, and even now, in her state, where she has Alzheimer's, she always speaks about those flambeaux that were pushed in the beams of houses. They were pushed in those beams and those buildings were burnt. My grandmother always told me the story of the land just as you cross the bridge, right? That has been taken over by others, and they run from their village and from that area and settled in Georgetown. So when we want to talk about racism, right, those who talking about racism, on both sides of the divide, persons were affected by apartheid. So don't come telling black people about racism, because you guys had your fair share of doing things, not you as an individual, but you as a people. So don't come tell us. My aunt always repeats that one story, even though she has Alzheimer's. She always speaks about the flambeaux that were pushed in the beams of houses. I believe she said at Den Amstel. So don't come to us telling us about racism. Who are the persons who were out front at the last elections in 2020? I have never felt so much hate like 2020 elections. And to this day, I do not take things that I used to take as a joke from my Indo-Guyanese. I don't take it as a joke anymore because of that, which was on Facebook and other platforms referring to us black people. So until y'all can correct that, until y'all can call out those people who are on social media doing that sort of thing, don't come on no program talking about racism. Bye-bye.
Thank you for that voice. No, there are a number of things I want to say. Let me start. Time really, I know time wasn't going to permit me to deal with this Jagdeo and the Venezuelan issues. But sometimes I like my wisdom, you know. I love my wisdom. How many comments have you seen me making about the Venezuela-Guyana controversy and so on? I don't think I've made a lot of comment on it. Right? And I have had my reasons for not making a lot of comments on it. Follow the line. What I saw that video that they called is the voice note was speaking about. And what the Venezuelan national was saying is that there was a meeting at the Artichon Convention Center. I am sure I remember that. I will go and look at the video again. As a matter of fact, my intention is to address the video in a later program. Right? Because what Jagdeo has done is use the patriotism of Guyanese, especially those who are supportive of the coalition and the PNC, against the PNC. Understand that? Look at the people who have been in the forefront of denouncing the amassing of troops on the Guyana-Venezuelan border by Venezuela. Look at the people who have been in the forefront of denouncing the incursion of Venezuelans into Guyana. For the greater part, they look like who? Me and the PNC leadership. And so Jagdeo sought that as an opportunity to put to the Venezuelans at that assembly, whichever he had. Look around, y'all. Y'all recognize them black people is the opposition, is the PNC. Don't want y'all in Guyana. The PNC would welcome you. The PPP welcomes you. And the PPP will not discriminate against you. In other words, dog whistling. Vote for the PPP. We're going to get Kagach, so vote for the PPP. So that you can be comfortable in Guyana. Only the PPP will welcome you. That is what Jagdeo is saying to the Venezuelans. The very Jagdeo that a few days prior to then was saying Guyanese should not politicize the matter of the Venezuelan border issue and the Venezuelan incursions. The Venezuelans coming over to Guyana for refugee status or whatever. Guyanese should not politicize it. But here is a very Jagdio politicizing it. A few days after Ifan Ali and Norton sat together and issued joint statement and all of that about standing firm on the Guyana Venezuela controversy. Those are the few comments I will make now, because it calls for more in-depth discussion. And that's why I have an attitude of sitting back and watch the ride. Right? Because I know for a fact the PPP doesn't play fair. And so I take my time before I jump on any bandwagon that is going to involve any kind of partnership or anything with the PPP. I wish sometimes that a lot of those who are in the forefront of leading politically in this country had quartered the foresight that I got. I'm blowing my own horn right now. Because they would have seen a lot of things differently, and a lot of things would have been different in this country. But you know what? They look at those of us who can call it as we see it, and they see it as a threat to them. And instead of embracing the fight and embracing the fighters, they in their own corners dig little holes and hope that you will fall into it. But as the people say, who God for? No man against. Call it life. Call it life.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Amsterdam. I would like to make 3 brief points, and that's it for the day. The first one is on Ms. Motley's statement, in which she did not take a side between Venezuela and Guyana, but she's asking for peace for the region. I am disappointed as a child of CARICOM, because you know what? Barbados is a sister CARICOM state. And during the 2020 election, she did not take a position of peace. Whatever she was doing seems to be one-sided. So what happens now? When Guyana needs a strong CARICOM leader to stand up and give a statement for us, what happened to her now? But you know what? That good for the PPP. More to come. Move on. The so-called First Lady, I did look at that video with those vendors, and it is so sad, because how as a mother you can take bread from children, from parents that are out there on the hustle every day for their children. The lady was proud to talk about her son that wrote CXC. She got to fund that bill for him. How can you as a mother sit down and do this to ordinary women? Because most of them are women out there. So I'm just dropping that. The other one is the fact-finding mission. I think that those people, I don't know what, it doesn't matter what the government does. The truth is a stubborn thing, and it don't ever go away. Because as they're out there, I am certain that they may have like support staff that would be on the ground that gonna go about and try to get things in, people in the natural setting to get the truth out of whatever case they are looking at the moment. And the last thing concerning the joint statement with the opposition and the government, I said it from the inception. I am seeing that those talks will break down, because you know what? I saw a letter from Christopher Jones in which at that meeting they decide on certain things. To date, the government has not come forward to fulfill those obligations. So you know what? They just want some photo opportunities, and I'm thinking that, Mr. Norton, if you're listening, when they call again, you need to make your demands. If this and this doesn't go down, no talks. Deal with Venezuela on your own, because you know what? Right now, we're fighting for two Guyana. One is one people, one nation, one destiny, and the other one is one Guyana. So which one are we fighting for? I am certain we are fighting for the one people, one nation, one destiny. So if the governments want to be slack and to give up the one Guyana to the Venezuelan, let they go ahead. God bless you, and that's my contribution for the day. You have a good day.
Thank you for your call. It's 3 minutes past 9 o'clock. I have a few voice notes to play.
The good things you have been doing as far as informing us about what's going on and opening some knowledge to a lot of us who don't know. I listened to the show this morning, and just listening to it gives me pain. Why? Because I'm so worried about our people. I'm worried. I'm worried because they allow someone to come into our village who are our enemy. That's what the PPP party is. They are our enemy that don't like us. And you get this man come to your village and lie to you, and you people can't figure this out. Where y'all living? Why will you listen to this man, people? What world y'all live in? This is 2023 and you don't know what's going on? I will not put my hands around that narcissistic demon. Never. Because energy do transfer.
Hey, good day, Kadaki, good day. Good day to you, good day to your listeners and all your viewers. Kadaki, first, I have an idea, right? Now, we all know that money runs things and money is power. That's without a doubt, right? Money runs things and money runs power. Even the Bible says, wine maketh the heart merry, but money changeth all things. It's in our Bible. Now, I'm thinking about an economic boycott. I don't know what you think about it. Let me know. An economic boycott. Because when they start to lose money, they're going to start thinking different. Because we black folks, believe it or not, are the largest consumers in the world. Largest consumers in the world. This is not a makeup. People could check it out. When you start changing the way money moves, people start to think different. There's many ways we could fight this war, right? Because this is a revolutionary war going on, and we have to fight it some way, somehow, right? By any means necessary. So I'm thinking about an economic boycott. But my economic boycott is this way. This is my suggestion. Blacks must only support blacks only for 90 days. For 90 days. And we have to be serious, because together we stand, divided we fall. If we don't stay on one accord, we won't get anywhere. 90 days, 3 months. Black only support black in everything. Movements, traveling, food, clothes, housing, everything. Blacks only from blacks. That's one of my suggestions, because again, no revolutionary war has ever won by protest. Not that I know of. We have to use other measures, and that's just one of them that I think about. When Afand Ali said one Guyana, he's talking about one set of people. That's what he means. He's telling you, he's telling us, he's showing us what he's talking about, but we're not getting it. One Guyana, one set of people is going to strive, and the rest is going to have to survive the best way they know how. And that's exactly what's going on. Thanks for taking my call. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Good morning, Kadaki. You know, you guys in Guyana take things very, very lightly. Sometimes I say you guys behave like some dumb animals. You know, like a fowl may sit on his eggs for weeks, and some other animal may come and chase that fowl off the egg, and that fowl just peacefully give up without no resistance. Even though you know you may not be able to fight back, no resistance, and leave them to go with it. You know, Guyanese just sit down in Guyana and see how these people feel when they pass by the Seawall and see what is going on there. That they were there before, the black people were there before, and now being chased. And Indian people, other races, has taken over this spot. That is blatant disrespect and advantage upon those black people in Guyana. Bye.
It's 9 minutes past the 9 o'clock hour. It's the 1st of November in the year 2023. You've been listening to Guyanese Morning Time on Kams TV. We'll continue these conversations tomorrow. Tomorrow is Thursday. How about strictly business? We can talk about how we deal with business on the Seawall. That's business too. But join me tomorrow morning. We'll continue to have these conversations and how we can perhaps aid each other's economic empowerment. And definitely join Dr. HINDS this evening for another program of Politics 101. Paul Slow is on later today. It's Wednesday. And he's also going to be in front of, I think, the Venezuelan embassy as they continue that process there. Go out and support. Join the program. See you tomorrow. Have a good day. We have a lot more to discuss. Have a good day.
I'm the Farmers Association with Bobfest ATL is excited about the annual Harvest Party weekend in Atlanta, GA.
Saturday, November 18th at 5 p.m. till midnight. It's an evening party called Lively Up Yourself.
Enjoy a 5-course farm-to-table feast with Mystic Roots, featuring live on the wheels, selectors Muta Baruka live from Jamaica's Irie FM, DJ Sanzap, and DJ Russ Imon.
Live performances with full band by Ross Kofi and Permaculture, Russ Fraser Jr.,
Aja Ray,
and other special guests.
All taking place at Arts Exchange, 2148 Newman Street, East Point, GA.
Then on Sunday the 19th of November, it's the Reset.
Satsang Style and Brunch, featuring performances by the international legend Muta Baruka. Also featuring Ras Takura, brunching and reasoning to the sounds of Kim String at YG Urban Cafe, 640 Evans Street. Purchase tickets online on thefarm.eventbrite.com.
It's the annual Harvest Party weekend in Atlanta, GA.